Good morning, everyone. Any happy homeowners in the audience? We're going to be happier when we're done with this. Okay. Please sit down, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And I want to acknowledge Barry Kaufmann, as you mentioned, is the president of the New York Alliance for Retired Americans. You're a great, great champion for our seniors. And I want to thank him for all he does. And Martine Ortiz, one of our senior citizens and an advocate. And I want to thank both of them for helping us with this issue and so many more. But, you know, affordability has always been the cornerstone of my agenda. Whether we're creating jobs or cutting taxes with the largest middle-class tax rate cut in 70 years, tripling the child tax credit, universal child care, free school meals for children in schools, every child, as well as our inflation rebates. We sent out inflation rebates to 8.2 million New Yorkers. All that says that my record and my mission is very simple, putting money back in people's pockets. It's all I'm trying hard to do. And today I'm going to talk about supporting homeowners. Now, I believe that homeownership it's not just a financial milestone. It's a very big deal to own a home, especially in this day and age. But it's also a cornerstone of our community. It's a place of stability, and it allows people to build wealth in their own lives. As much as it's difficult to get that first home, I remember trying to scrape together all the money for that mortgage, and I'll tell you this, interest rates were 16% at the time I did. Anybody have, you're all a lot younger than I am, I guess. But inflation was off the charts. And then they said you had to have 20% set aside. How does a young couple come up with 20% of a down payment for a house? And it was a tiny little house, but we struggled. We waited for a long time. We finally were able to achieve that. But that's why I know that so many people, this is a marker of progress. This is a sign of success, especially as my parents used to live in a trailer park. And for them to get that first little tiny apartment, and then the other little apartment, and then finally a little tiny house where they raised 6 children. And so I understand what this means, how important it is to have that piece, that's something that's yours, that's tangible, that you can call your own, and it's your home. It's a marker of progress for many people, a point of pride, a place to raise a family, perhaps a place to grow old, and maybe even an asset to hand down to your own children. And whether you made your first mortgage payment recently or you have grandchildren playing in the backyard, it's really allows us to understand the challenges also that this home can be for you. It's a great asset. It's a wonderful point of pride, but it also comes with a lot of expenses, right? And a little breathing room can make a world of difference. You have the property taxes, and for so many, it's just another bill at the end of the month, sitting on the kitchen table saying, do I pay this one? Do I pay this one? Can I put anything off? How am I going to make this all work? And so this is what I think about, is the struggling families across our state who are blessed to have a home. It is fantastic for those who are homeowners. It's hard, out of reach for many, but also I need to make sure that we're doing everything we can at the state level to put money back in your pockets and help you out with these costs. And that's why today I'm proud to announce that New York homeowners will receive $2 billion in property tax relief. $2 billion is going out. That's going to come through our STAR program, our school tax relief program. And for many homeowners, it'll be an extra $350 to $600 in their pockets. And with that money, you can maybe fill up your gas tank, hopefully more than once, and make a couple of car payments and get some groceries and buy some school clothes if you've got little kids. But for seniors, the benefit is even bigger. Many are on fixed income. They're not bringing in income every single paycheck anymore. And so eligible seniors will receive between $700 and $1,500 in relief. And so that's the relief that they can count on. Use that to enjoy your retirement or go out to dinner or movie or, like I said, pay some of the bills at the end of the month instead of worrying so much about how you're going to manage. And let me tell you how it works. Most will get the benefits through their school tax on their tax bill. Others will get a check. And they're going to start hitting the mailboxes. They're staggered throughout the state because it takes some time to get them out. But they're coming, and they'll be starting. Some are starting now through the summer and some others in the fall. And so if you want to check out when your check is arriving, if you're really anxious to help pay those bills, go to ny.gov/star. So it's real simple. You got that? ny.gov/star. So check it out, and it'll tell you when your check is coming. So you can go to the delivery lookup and look in your location, and it'll make it a lot easier for you. You can also sign up for direct deposit. you just want to see that without any hassle, it's right on the portal, and you can do that very easily. So property tax relief is just one way we're delivering on our affordability agenda. It's a stark contrast to what is happening in Washington, when many of their policies are just driving the cost of living up and up and up. There's chaos, there's corruption. You have a president who's using taxpayer money not to give you relief, but to build a ballroom and arches and UFC fights on the White House lawn, and paying off rioters who attacked police officers, and it's just unrelenting, this reckless war that is maybe coming to a conclusion on Iran. We don't really know. We've heard it's over a couple of times, but all that has sent the cost of gasoline soaring, and no one counted on that. You couldn't have budgeted for that. You didn't expect it, and all that as we head into summer. And those gas prices, I hope they come down soon, but we know gas prices go, up like a rocket and come down like a feather, this is the saying. So this is what we're dealing with. So you have a president and an administration that's focused on enriching family and friends of the president, and I'm focused on enriching families and people who call New York their home. We're fighting for New Yorkers. And so that's why I've been focused on this. Since I've been governor, we've had over $5.5 billion in real relief for people across the state. And this year, some of the fights we took on in the budget, they weren't easy. They weren't easy. If it's easy, it's probably already been done. Sign me up for the hard fights every single time, including taking on the high cost of auto insurance. That was something that we were told would not be possible, told it was dead on arrival to change something that had been, part of our part of Albany's culture for a long time, and no one was willing to make the changes to do what we could to lower what are the highest auto insurance rates in the country. That's just not fair to New Yorkers. We're not any worse drivers. Are you any worse drivers? I don't think you are. None of us are. No, you're all good drivers. You're the best. You're the best. So I'll stand up for my drivers any day of the week. So don't tell me our insurance premiums have to be this high because of our drivers. I'm not accepting it. I'll defend every one of you. So we had to change the laws. It was hard. But you know what? As a result of what we did, not only will insurance rates stop going up sky high, they will plateau, and then they'll be coming down. And that is a commitment I have to make sure that happens, because we're rooting out the fraud and the liability laws that make it insanely impossible for people just to be able to pay their bills, and I want to make sure the insurance companies respond to that as well. We also realize your energy bills, how painful are they to look at? Now we're heading into air conditioning time in the summer, and winter time was so cold this year. So we're delivering $1 billion in energy rebate tax to offset utility costs that have spiked because of the war with Iran and just other circumstances. So we're also, anybody out there, a waitress, waiter? Okay, maybe not anymore. I used to be one. You used to be one, okay. It's good work, right? Do you get a lot of tips?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you work?
I was a waiter in fast food restaurants,
okay.
But I was in an area where, at a time where they had smoking and non-smoking,
okay.
And people would ask for my section whether they smoked or not.
Because you're the nice waiter.
The owner of the restaurant said, "Are you giving free food away?"
You were just popular. I bet your personality came right through, right? But I would have gone to your section too. Okay. I'm a former waitress for 5 years too. I used to be the short order cook. I made the food and I had to serve it, and so didn't get real big tips. Did not get real big tips. But for those who do, we're ending the tax on tips in the state of New York, so you can just keep a little more of that money in your pocket. So a lot of people work in that industry, have to work 2 jobs to make ends meet, and we're just trying to find all the ways we can just to take the pressure off of New Yorkers, because it's a lot. So let me conclude by saying this: home ownership is an amazing achievement. Do never take for granted the ability to own that home, but also I know how hard it is for the upkeep. Things are always going wrong. You're always having to call the plumber. Something, there's someone nodding their head right there. That was me not too long ago. And my air conditioner broke the other day too. So luckily I am a renter, and I had to make someone else fix it. But I cannot imagine if that's in your house. It's an additional cost. But it's an achievement, but it's also expensive. And your finances, your budgets, your stresses, your burdens are always top of mind for me, and I feel them deeply, and I'm going to continue fighting, not just with what we did last year, but this year and onward, and making sure we can just make life easier for all of you, because your family and your future are my fight. Thank you very much, everyone. Let me bring up our next speaker, one of New York Seniors' greatest advocates, the president of the New York State Alliance of Retired Americans, Barry Kaufmann. Barry, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor Hochul. Good morning. I'm Barry Kaufmann, president of the 670,000-member New York State Alliance for Retired Americans. During this time of financial uncertainty caused by rampant inflation, skyrocketing fuel and food costs, plus the impact of funding cuts in Washington, the membership of the New York State Alliance for Retired Americans applaud Governor Hochul in working to put money back into the pockets of older adults through her affordability agenda by making it easier for them to access the school tax relief STAR program, enhanced benefit that is available to older adults. Many of our members are recipients of the school tax relief program, and I understand how important this benefit is for many homeowners across New York State, particularly older adults, some of whom are on fixed incomes. This program has almost been taken for granted and misunderstood, so thank you, Governor Hochul, for spreading the word about this important program that in its enhanced state can put up to $1,400 back into the pockets of older New Yorkers, many of which who are battling to survive the ever-increasing costs of living. It's so important for homeowners, seniors, to learn more about the STAR program. Like the governor said, New Yorkers can go online and visit ny.gov./star to get all the details regarding eligibility, check delivery, timing, direct deposit enrollment, and more. Additionally, I want to thank Governor Hochul for securing reforms that will lower the cost of auto insurance for New Yorkers. Governor, I stood with you in Albany earlier this year to push for those changes. It was a fight for you to the end, and thanks to your leadership, we got it done. And that is a huge deal for millions of drivers across New York who will now benefit from lower costs. That's especially seniors that their car is their lifeline to existence. Without it, they face a very uncertain future. Thank you again to Governor Hochul for spreading the word about the STAR tax relief and for all the work you do to make New York more affordable. With that, I would introduce Martine Ortiz, a friend of mine.
Good morning. I am Martine Ortiz. I am a member of the RAIN Senior Citizen, or as they say, older American centers located at Boston Road. I am now a resident of Co-op City in the North Bronx. I recently chose to purchase my cooperative apartment in order to age in place as a senior in my local community. I applied for the STAR tax relief program in order to receive this important homeowner benefit. I understand how important this benefit is for many homeowners across New York State, particularly for seniors, which I am one. Thank you, Governor Hochul, for spreading the word about this important program, for everything you do to help address affordability for New Yorkers. I, too, did not know about this program, and I had to learn word of mouth, but it's important that seniors hear it from other sources. It's so important for seniors to learn more about the STAR program, especially if you're an owner in a co-op building, and we have a lot of cooperatives in New York City. I know that some co-op owners might not be aware that they could qualify for a STAR benefit, and that's why it's great for more New Yorkers to have all the information about this program. So if you're a co-op owner like me, you may be eligible for this tax relief. I'm looking forward to receiving my STAR tax benefit relief soon because I recently applied as a new homeowner. just like millions of other homeowners and seniors all across New York. Once again, thank you again, Governor Hochul, for spreading the word about this program and for all of the work that you do for homeowners and seniors in New York State. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Martine.